body pyramid workout for you that is going to focus on chest and back. So we'll hit opposing muscle groups in the upper body. Now this is a straight strength class, okay? So it's not like our other pyramids where we have plyometrics and cardio exercises mixed in. This is going to be strictly strength exercises. However, the structure is going to be the same as our other pyramids. I'm going to give you 6 exercises today. First time you go through them, you do each exercise for 60 seconds, then 45 seconds, and finally just 30 seconds. And you have 15 seconds rest in between each exercise, longer to recover in between sets. For equipment, you're going to want a set of heavy-ish weights and then a set of medium-ish weights. So I'm going to use 15s for my heavies. I'm going to use 8s for my mediums, so I'm going to go on the slightly lighter side of medium. We just use those for one of the exercises. We have a bodyweight exercise mixed in. The majority we're going heavier today. And to modify any of these exercises, you can just go lighter with the weights, so it's always nice to have a drop set on hand if you do have access to multiple weights. We will start class with a quick guided warm-up that's going to focus on upper body mobility to get us prepared, and we'll finish up with a few stretches at the end, a quick guided cool down. Our warm-up's pretty quick today, so I'm actually going to give you the preview of our exercises now, then we'll do the warm-up, and that'll bring us right into our pyramid. So first exercise, the first 2 we're going to be laying on the mat, chest focus. First up, it's a chest press, both arms together, and then you hold it a hover and you single it out, right, left, both together, right, left. We then do a combo. It's going to be a chest fly and then a narrow press, palms facing towards each other. Fly, narrow, press. We're then going to grab our lighter set of weights in a hinged position. It's going to be 2 reverse flies and then an overhead raise right and left. 2 flies, right, left. You can do that one standing if you prefer. I'm just going to do it kneeling so it's a quicker transition from one exercise to the next. From there we go body weight. It's going to be a hand release push-up with a little spinal extension at the bottom. So you lower all the way down to a prone position, spinal extension, coming up, lower down, press back up to either modified plank, or if you have a strong push-up, you can do that from your feet, up to you. We then come to standing for the final 2 exercises, and we're going to grab our heavier weights. First up, it's going to be a wide row in a hinged position, and then an upright row as we bring our torso upright, hinge and repeat. Final exercise uses the same pattern as the first. It's going to be a narrow row, so palms facing towards each other, and it's going to be both arms together, and then you hold, drop right, drop left. Both together, right, left. All right, so store that in the back of your mind. We're going to start with our warm-up though. So let's come into a tabletop position with just a cat-cow. So spread out your hands, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. As you inhale, we find spinal extension. So you reach the tailbone up, gaze shifts up. As you exhale, you press the mat away. You round your spine up towards the ceiling, filling the space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, gentle extension, and exhale, flexion. One more. And then I want you to elongate the spine to neutral. We're going to do a spinal twist. It's going to be a thread the needle. We're going to start with an open twist. So take your right elbow up towards the ceiling, open twist, and then you're going to thread right under left cheek to the mat. Keep it going, same side. Inhale to open, exhale to close the twist. One more this side. And then come through center and take it over to the left. Start with that open twist on an inhale. Exhale, thread it through. Last time. Come through center tabletop and then shift your butt back so that we're in a hinge position. We're going to sweep our arms back when we're in the hinge, and then we're going to bring them overhead as we fire through the glutes and come upright. Hips slide back, arms sweep, overhead, and back. So we're continuing to mobilize through the shoulders, yes, but we're also building a little heat in the body. We're going to hold the hinge in 3, 2, Hold the hinge, palms facing towards each other, take it into a reverse fly. So we're focusing on the retraction of the shoulder blades. They squeeze in towards each other, gliding across the back of your rib cage. Maintain the connection to your core so that you don't flare open through the ribs as you do this. For the last part of our warm-up, we're going to come back to tabletop. We're going to walk the hands forward a little bit. 3, 2, 1. Come back to tabletop, but then from tabletop, I want you to walk your hands forward about 6 inches. So we're going to come back into a child's pose, rounding the spine up towards the ceiling a little bit and pressing our armpits towards the floor. And then we're going to start to come forward, elongate the spine through neutral, and then staying active through the glutes. I want you to drop your hips down and come into spinal extension, so kind of like an up dog position. And then we just rock it back. You want to make sure that you're staying active through the glutes, so you're not just dumping into your lower back when you do this. So we're just going to switch it up a little bit. Instead of coming into this spinal extension up next, you'll give me a modified push-up. Let's do one more like this though first. Back, press the armpits to the floor, bring it forward in that spinal extension, and now just replace the spinal extension with a push-up. So it's back to a child's pose, forward to a modified plank, one modified push-up, down and up. And then we send it back. Come forward, elongate the spine to neutral, elbows back at a 45-degree angle as you do that modified push-up, and round it back twice more, and then we are ready for our pyramid. Last time. Round it back. Bring it forward to modified plank. One push-up. All right, and now we are going to start our pyramid. Hardest round first, 60-second round. We'll be down on the mat with our heavy weights with that chest press. So I have my 15-pound weights. We're going to start with that chest press. We do both arms together. Then we hold at the bottom and do right, left. When you hold at the bottom, don't hold with your arms resting on the floor. They're at a little hover, okay? Don't cheat it. Neutral through the spine. And let's go. So both arms together, lower down, hold at the hover, and then go right and left. Both together. Now notice my elbows are not up by the tops of my shoulders towards my ears. Picture, when you do a push-up, how your elbows go kind of back at a slight angle. My elbows are at a slight angle. So they're not up here, okay? If the hold at the bottom is too much, then you can just do both together. You could also hold at the top instead and just do one at a time from there, okay? That's a little easier variation. Whew, 15 seconds to rest. All right, so up next, we're going to stay down in this position. It's going to be a chest fly and then a narrow row, just alternating. There we go. So palms face in towards each other. Okay, so we fly. It's like the opposite of giving someone a hug. And then we bring them back in. And then a narrow row. Keep the elbows in tight to the sides of your body as you bend down towards your waist and press back up. So getting biceps in here too. So these first two exercises, chest, and then the next one, we'll switch to that opposing muscle group. Focus will be more back. And then we'll kind of put the two together. We're going to need a quick transition up next. It's just 15 seconds to put these weights down and grab your lighter ones, and we'll come to a kneeling hinge or a standing hinge if you prefer. And rest. So our heavier weights go down. We're going to come to a kneeling hinge. It's going to be 2 reverse flies, overhead raise right, left. Grab your medium weights. Slide those hips back, long neutral spine. From this hinge, 2 reverse flies, retracting those shoulder blades. And then overhead raise, reaching one arm up without flaring open through the ribs. And then the other. Our next exercise will be body weight. When you do the overhead raise, don't just swing the weights. So it's controlled. I don't care how high up the arm gets. Rest. Okay, so now going to be a hand release push-up with that spinal extension at the bottom. I'm going to do modified push-ups, so I'm going to keep my knees down. If you have a really strong push-up, I want you to do it from your feet though. So hands under shoulders, lower the hips. We lower all the way to the ground, and then we do a spinal extension. The spinal extension comes from your mid-spine and up. So hands at a hover. Lower back down to neutral, and then exhale, push the mat away, come back to your modified plank position. We lower all the way down. Grow long and tall through the spine as you do that extension. You're active through the glutes as you do this, so that that extension comes from mid-back and not lower back. Think about staying broad across your collarbones here, and think of sliding your shoulder blades down towards your bum a little bit, and that's going to help you stay open through the chest. And that will ensure that when your hands come back down to the mat after the hover, they're in the right position for your push-up. Press up on the exhale. Woo, rest. Okay, so we're going to grab our heavies and we're going to come up to standing for a bent row, upright row. My head might get a little cut off on this one, but that's okay. So palms facing towards you. You'll slide the hips back in a hinge position. It's going to be a wide row here. And then as you come upright, fire through the glutes and the core, upright row. And then we hinge. So it's one movement as you come up, but then you lower the arms and hinge at the hips. So two movements to lower back down. Keep those weights close to your body as you do that upright row, like you're zipping up a jacket. Oh, rest. All right, final exercise. It's going to be a narrow row. Just shaking out my grip. Narrow row, so we're going to come back in the hinge position. You do both arms together. You hold at the top, and then you drop right, left. Open through the chest, connected to your core. Row, hold at the top. Drop one, drop the other, both together. Elbow draws back and up. Don't worry so much about how high up your elbow is getting in the row. I care more that you're not rolling forward through the shoulders as you do this. Nice long recovery on the other side of this. Oh, and rest. So you get a full minute to recover, okay? Full minute. We're done with our 60-second round. We're going to go through that whole circuit again, this time just 45 seconds in exercise. And I'm giving you a full minute to recover because I want you to really be able to challenge yourself with the weights and stay pretty heavy throughout. So it already is an endurance challenge when we're in the circuit. I want you to have ample recovery in between sets. So we'll start back down on the mat. Chest press, chest fly, you know the drill. Okay, so we got that chest press. Hold at the bottom, single it out. And remember, make sure your elbows aren't hiked up here to your ears. Hold at the bottom. Don't rest the backs of the arms on the floor. One each side while the other holds, and then both together. Rest. So I just put the backs of my arm on the floor for the rest, just so that I'm still in the same position. So it's going to be chest fly, narrow press. For the narrow press, your arms are in close to the sides of your body. Palms facing towards each other. Let's go. We fly wide. Whoo. Narrow press. We'll transition to our medium weights after this. Okay, 15 seconds to rest. Heavies go down. We grab our mediums. Now we're basically just reversing that movement. So we just did a chest fly. Now we're going to do a reverse fly hitting the back. I'm doing it kneeling, so that easy transition. You could absolutely come to stand though. Slide those hips back. Long, neutral spine. 2 reverse flies. Raise right, raise left. I don't care how high up the arm gets. Don't feel like you have to bring the bicep all the way by the ear. I don't want you to just swing it using momentum to your advantage. And I don't want you to totally lose connection with your core. When you do that reverse fly, you're really thinking of squeezing the shoulder blades in towards each other. Keep reaching that tailbone back. Woo, rest. Okay, so we're gonna go body weight only now for that hand release push up into the spinal extension. So hands under shoulders, elbows are gonna go back, 45-degree angle, or they can stay closer in towards you if that works for you. Lower all the way down to a prone position, spinal extension. Exhale, press up in one long line. So we're getting posterior and anterior. Chest and back working. Stay active through your glutes to help stabilize the pelvis. So to modify, when you do the spinal extension, you can keep your hands on the mat. Harder, hands come to a hover. We'll come to standing up next. All right, we grab those heavy weights, we come to stand. Wide row in that hinge to upright row. Let's go. In a hinge position, wide row, upright row, slow on the way down. So it's a 2-part movement to return to the bottom, 1 explosive movement to get to the top. It'll take longer to do the to do the lowering down of the weights than it does to do the explosive upward pull. When you come upright, make sure you brace through the core and you fire through your glutes so that we don't sink into the lower back. Rest, 15 seconds. All right, last 45-second interval. We're going to do that narrow row. Both together, hold at the top, drop right, drop left. Let's go. Slide those hips back. hinge position. Row both. Hold at the top as one drops and rows, and then the other, both together. And rest. Woo! All right, take 45. So we're done with our 45-second long intervals. We're gonna go through the exercises one more time. It'll just be 30 seconds to move, so it's gonna go by quick, and then you're already done, okay? All right, let's do this. We got our chest press. Both together, hold that hover at the bottom, right and then left. Let's go. Chest press, hold it a hover. One arm, then the next, both together. Try to keep a steady pace. 30 seconds is gonna go by quick. We've already got the hardest out of the way at the start. Rest. So narrow press, fly. Palms facing towards each other. Let's go. Chest fly. Narrow press, keeping the elbows in tight to your sides. We'll transition to our medium weights after this. Rest. All right, drop down to the mediums, 2 reverse flies, overhead raise, right, left, in a hinged position. I'm doing it kneeling because it makes for a quicker transition. You can absolutely stand. Slide those hips back. 2 reverse flies, right and left. Okay, rest. Done with our mediums. So body weight, hand release push-up with that spinal extension at the bottom. Fire through the glutes. You're in a modified plank, not a tabletop. Lower to prone, spinal extension, hands come to a hover, hands land right back under your shoulders. So again, broad across the collarbones, and then think of gently sliding your shoulder blades down towards your butt, and that's gonna help bring those hands into the right position when you lower down. Exhale as you press up. It's gonna help you stay connected to your core. Woo, rest. All right, grab those heavies. We come to stand. 2 exercises to go. We got this. Wide row, upright row with that hinge. Palms face your thighs. Let's go. okay? Final 30 seconds coming up. Narrow row, both together. Drop right, drop left. Palms facing towards each other. Slide those hips back. Unlock through the knees. Go. Row both. Hold as you drop right. And then left. Both together. Right to the end. And done. Awesome work. Put the weights down. Quick cool down. I'll bring you through a couple stretches. To start, I want you to interlace the fingers in front of you. Flip the palms so that they face forward. And then press the hands forward, and then I want you to round forward so that you're really opening up through the back. Pushing those hands forward, and just take a couple breaths here. And then we're just going to reverse that, so stack the spine up tall. Now we interlace behind, press the knuckles away, opening up through the chest, and then just lift those arms up. Now from here, I want you to separate your legs nice and wide, keeping the fingers interlaced if possible. I want you to then forward fold, knuckles up towards the ceiling. And from here, let's release the interlace and just let those arms hang heavy. Plant your right hand in the center, twist open through the left. You can stay with the arm up to the ceiling, or you can bend at the elbow, bring it behind your back. And let's do same thing, other side. Left hand plants, right arm twists open. Arm can stay to the ceiling, or you can bring it behind your back. Coming through center, we're going to grab opposite elbow with opposite hand. And I want you to bend into the knees, and let's just sway side to side a little bit. Get a little bit of a release for the upper body. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to the floor, heel toe your feet in towards each other. Then very slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, we're going to roll up to stand. As you come up tall, we inhale, the arms sweep up overhead. We exhale, release. And that is your class. Awesome work today. See you next time.